Hey guys, this is Miss Megan. I'm here to read to you the story for our first week of Easter lessons, which is on the entry of Jesus into Jerusalem. So this is going to come from the book of Matthew and some from the book of Luke. I'm going to read you just a little bit of this story for you. On his way to Jerusalem, Jesus sent two disciples ahead to a little village near the city at the foot of the Mount of Olives. He told them to look for a donkey tied by a house with its unbroken colt next to it. Jesus instructed the disciples to tell the owners of the animal that the Lord has need of it. The men found the donkey, brought it and its colt to Jesus, and placed their cloaks on the colt. Jesus sat on the young donkey and slowly made his way into Jerusalem. In his path, people threw their cloaks on the ground and put palm branches on the road before him. Others waved palm branches in the air. Large crowds surrounded Jesus, shouting, "Hosanna to the Son of David! Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord! Hosanna in the highest." So there are a few things about this story that are so important as we lead up to Easter, the week of Easter, which we call Holy Week. So this event was the first day of the week that ended up being known as Holy Week, when Jesus would die for us on the cross and rise again. So the first thing we need to think about is the fact that Jesus came on a donkey. Now, we don't think donkeys are very fancy. They're not like a fancy camel or a really tall, sparkling horse that he could have ridden in on, because we know now that he was the king. But he didn't come like that. He came in on a donkey. And this showed two things. The first thing it showed was that he was humble. He was not coming in and saying, "Hello, everyone, here I am. I'm the king. I'm amazing. You need to bow and worship me." That's not how he came. He came on a lowly donkey, which is just a normal old animal. And this wasn't even an old donkey. This was just a little baby donkey. And he came in quietly, even though the people were so excited to see him, and they threw the palm branches and they were shouting, "Hosanna." But he came in just like any regular old guy would come into town. So that shows us that Jesus wasn't trying to make a big deal about the fact that he was coming. The reason people were excited was not because he sent people ahead saying, "Hey, tell them I'm coming, give me a big parade." No, they knew what he had been doing throughout the land before he was on his way there. They knew about the miracles that he had been performing, and they were lining up to see this amazing man. The other thing it's important for us to know about this story is that this actually fulfilled a prophecy. This donkey was actually super important. So the prophet Zechariah wrote hundreds of years before, "Rejoice greatly, O daughter of Zion. Shout, daughter of Jerusalem. See, your king comes to you, righteous and having salvation, gentle and riding on a donkey, on a colt, the foal of a donkey." So the fact that Jesus' entrance into Jerusalem perfectly fits this prophecy is so amazing by itself. But what this tells us about Jesus is more amazing. And it tells us what kind of king he was. And it pointed at who he was, which was the Messiah, the one that the Jews had been waiting and praying for hundreds and thousands of years. But the problem is, the kind of Messiah they were waiting for was not what Jesus was coming to be. They were hoping for a powerful and fierce king like you and I would think of as a king today, someone who would come and rule and free them from under the rule of other emperors and armies. They weren't expecting Jesus, but he was a king, and he was the best kind of king. But they didn't understand this yet, and Jesus was about to show them what the best kind of king was like. So let's think about two different types of kings. There are good kings and there are bad kings. So if we were God and we were looking at what a good king would be someone who did love God and serve their people, rules by love, and is just, humble, and kind. Now, bad kings, on the other hand, they love only themselves. They love the power they have. They love their money. They demand that their people serve them. They don't love their people. They rule by force. They're unfair. They're proud, and they're harsh. So which kind of king was Jesus going to be? He was coming into Jerusalem, like we said. He was coming humbly on the back of a donkey. It was him, his disciples, and two donkeys. And the fact that he was coming at all, even though he knew what he was coming for, the cross, shows that he was ready to serve and love his people because he loved them so much, because he loved God, and because he knew that this was the only way to save them. The people thought they needed a mighty, fierce king who was going to come and be a leader of an army. What they really needed was the Messiah, and that was who Jesus was coming to be, someone to show them true love and ultimate love and sacrifice himself for them on the cross. So next week, we'll learn more about what happened after that Holy Week started with Palm Sunday. And so before we close, though, I do want to show you, if your parents want to go online, we have a drive set up, a Google Drive set up, that you can do one of our crafts from Sunday school. Even though you're not with us at the church, we can still make some of our crafts. So I have one here that I made. This, if parents want to go onto the Google Drive, you will go to the Easter week 1 lesson, and you can print off these little cutouts, and it has a picture of the verse here, and this is, you're going to basically make the temple, the walls of Jerusalem, and of course you can color yours. I didn't have time to color mine, but what I did was I cut all these pieces out, and you can kind of recreate the scene of Jesus coming. Here he is, coming on the donkey right here, coming into Jerusalem, and you can pretend like he is entering the gates, and you can see the people throwing their palm branches and praising him and saying, Hosanna, Hosanna in the highest. And you can kind of imagine what that would have been like. So I hope that you all have a wonderful, wonderful week, and we do miss you, and hopefully we'll be able to back together again soon. But for now, we'll be having our lessons like this every Sunday. So I hope you all have a great week, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.